Hey everyone, this is Jared with Meeple Mentor, and today I'm doing another unboxing for you, and I've got Dinogenics, the expansion, Controlled Chaos. I was a backer for the original Kickstarter, so I do have the base game already, but I did go in on the second time, and so I've got the expansion with some of the upgrade material that they wanted to do for the early backers. I think they adjusted the original game's board and some other things, and so they wanted to offer that to the original backers to get that instead of ordering a whole new copy of the base game. So before I get into what this content is, the Controlled Chaos is the expansion's name. I do want to open up and see what some of the upgrades are and the adjustments to the base game. So first on top, I see they've included, I did order the metal coin set. I do love some tactile, heavyweight type of the feel of metal coins when playing. So these are custom made for the game. They've got a nice metal sound to them as they hold in your hand. They've got some custom artwork on there. There's the money symbol and of course the dots. Here's I'm not sure what type of dinosaur, but it's definitely a water type. Looks like the one on the cover too. What do we have here? We've got the three. So there's 10s, 3s, and 1s. Alright, yep. On the 3, I'm seeing a T-Rex. Very cool. This is engraved. This does have a very cool feel and look to them. I like that it's custom. There's some text on it. Year 2056, 58, something like that. We honor the Dinogenics Institute for its many contributions to our nation. Interesting. Okay. And the ones, the $1 coins, kind of have a sort of bronze copper look to it. It's very shiny. I don't know if you can tell, but it is very shiny. We've got like the T-Rex skull. Instead of like him roaring, it's sort of like his skull here. The same text is written around the coin on this one as well. And then, yep, you can see just one engraved there. So, again, these are nicely weighted. They've got a nice clink and a sound to it as you play. So that's going to be a lot of fun to add into the game. These are the ammonite meeples that are, I believe, superfluous to the game, but added for certain tile locations that you can get and add to your park. And if you haven't seen Dinogenics yet, I recommend taking a look. It's a very thematic, very pretty looking game, but it's about dinosaurs. Everyone's trying to make dinosaur theme park, and whoever does it the best will win. And there's events, news events and everything that affect everybody each round. You have to basically take actions with workers, so it's like a worker placement game. You use cards to you pay cards to build dinosaurs, and you can just put them in your park. And if you've properly built the fence large enough for the dinosaur, then they won't rampage. If not, they do, and you got to roll dice. So it's pretty interesting. They can attack your visitors and all that kind of stuff. You can earn scandal tokens. Don't want those. Those are -6 at the end of the game. But you do have the whole game to get rid of them. So this looks to be the replacement board. So I'm going to carefully cut this out here and see if I can spot some of the differences. Offhand, I can see from 99 here, that means that the number is still the same, because the original, I believe, went right on up to 100 victory points around the edge. My first opinion is it feels like it's a larger board, so that's always good. I do notice there's discard sections, whereas in the original board there were not places for discarding. We've got, of course, this is all the same here, the breaking news deck, whatever's upcoming, and then whatever's active. the DNA deck and its discard pile. So the discard piles, I think, is kind of the biggest change here. Looking again, so I also notice player count numbers on some of these spaces. So to ease play or setup, it looks like they added some printing on the board itself, instead of what they originally did in the first printing was give you tokens that you should then put like on certain spaces to block them for certain player counts. But otherwise it looks pretty much the same. They might have changed a little bit of the island background, but I'm not sure. I'd have to hold them side by side to compare. But yeah, I don't see any other big game changes as far as that goes. So, okay, one thing I see, this performed 2 different actions. I feel like the way they worded this is a little different, to sort of make things more clear that you have to choose 2 different actions among the 4. So yeah, that's good. That's this extra board that would come with your base game if you were to order the second printing onward. Now what's in this? If that's the board, then I wonder what we'll find here. And if you've received your copy, then you already know, I'm sure. Aha! So, extra upgrade type of stuff. Let me dump this all out. Look at all this. Great. Great. Alright, so this is a sticker set here, and I believe this is probably meant to go over this area if... I don't see any difference. But perhaps this goes over the original if you wanted to use that. Otherwise, they gave us a whole new board. I'm not sure, again, what all the changes are here. I mean, it looks very similar. Well, here's 3 bonus... No, I don't know. You'll have to tell me in the comments below if you see any differences between this upgraded version of the board and the original. But I'm going to leave that there for now. We've got an extra baggie here, and again, this is like stickers. We've got these little stickers that looks like we can put on our original game, so that's cool. We have Dinogenics Dinosaur reference page and the facility reference. This is great. You know, if you've played, then you know that this is something that really should have been included in the original game. In fact, I went through and printed some of my own that had this information on it because it was very important to know this kind of stuff, and especially the facilities that you can buy. Having a reference absolutely is necessary because everything on here is iconography, and there's really not a lot of text on the tiles themselves, so when they come out we have to stop gameplay and everyone has to look up what it does. And so I printed out some of my own that looked, you know, kind of like this, but without some of the images. But yeah, this is great to have. I might actually end up laminating that because there's only one. We have the manual for the original game, and I think they must have made some changes here in the rulebook, or I'm not sure, but certainly it's got to be more than just misspellings or things like that. But I'm guessing it's to better explain things that were perhaps a little bit confusing the first time around. But I appreciate the upgrade that they included it with, you know, backers. We have some cards here. These, since it's included in this, I believe must be new versions. Let's see if I can just open that there. So we've got manipulation cards. You can see by the back. Merchandise, gain 8 or gain 11 and opponents gain 3. That's great. DNA splice, discard DNA cards from your hand equal to the DNA requirement of a dinosaur plus 1, then place that dinosaur in your park. So I feel like the plus 1 is probably new, but I'll have to check that as well, and I'm sure the values here are a little different than the original printing. We have, interesting, okay, cards for mutants. I believe these were never cards before. It was just something you could always do. But looks like now they gave us enough for every player to have a reference card, I believe, just to have the mutant on one side and you've got the corrupted T-Rex on the other, just to let you know what they are. And I believe the corrupted T-Rex is only used in some of the campaign or scenario-based games that you might play. But cool that it's there. We have a balance adjustment and a name change to these two tiles. So here we go. This one's now called Genetics Facility, and looks like 1 victory point per DNA card. Yep, that would make sense, because they're normally 1 for every 2. So yeah, some extra tiles to replace the one, each one of these that came in the original. So that's enough of these. I think it's time to go ahead and open Controlled Chaos. This is, of course, the highlight that you probably came here to see. Look at it. It's a much smaller box than the original games. I'm hoping it fits. Now, I have play tested this game, so I'll go ahead and say I have played this already. I played it as part of their play testing group, and so it was just a print and play at that point. So I'm curious to see how it looks in all its final production glory, and it was a lot of fun, so I'm happy to have this. Here we go. We have the rule book. Perfect. There we go. We have, facility reference again for facilities specific to the expansion, and dinosaur references specific to this expansion, which is also very awesome. So 2 of these now I've got to get laminated. We have some tiles, of course. Now here's interesting. I don't know what... That's like a crashed helicopter. I don't remember that from the expansion. But cool. We've got new tiles. So one of the biggest things, of course, is the water-type dinosaurs. The aquatic habitat is how you get water dinosaurs. And they occupy either 1 or 2 water spaces. We have more blocking tokens, which is great, because I believe if you do the original board without the reprint stuff, there just never seem to be enough blocking tokens for some spaces with the added stuff. And I'm talking, of course, by using the print and play. So, yep, important to have those for sure. We've got some new regular tiles that'll get all mixed in. These are special size of 2 tiles that can go over either the park side or the commercial side. So that's great. We've got a first player token, that's handy. A Go Deeper token. Deep Shelf Extraction begins in 2020. I don't know. But that's cool. We'll find out what that is. I like the artwork on these, so that's one thing that the print and play was missing, is it didn't have any artwork. It was just the text and the cost and that sort of stuff. So I like to see what they've come up with, and it does look nice. There's a lot of color here. Very cool. And look at this. The hotel resort holds 4 visitors, and whenever you use the ferry, you get another visitor. So that's awesome. Of course, so the expansion has its own little sideboard, which, of course, before I had to print out, and it got a little warped after time with just being paper. But this is a nice sturdy board, same quality as the original game. You've got a place for the eDNA deck, which is going to have a new type of card, which has the aquatic type of dinosaurs. You've got the refinement space, so you can convert, if you pay money and convert a DNA card, a normal one, you can take one of these refinement tokens, and basically they can be spent as like a wild token towards any dinosaur you might be making. So you can take any 2 actions, the Intelligent Designs HQ. So with 2 things, you can resolve an open ocean roll, which is down here. You can purchase one of the large facilities. This space here is a permanent stack of those aquatic habitats, so they're always available. Otherwise, you've got 5 random ones that come out and a new one replaces. And you can discard a manipulation card to gain a specialist. And so this is where they go here. So whatever's not and there's 2 available each round, and whatever's not bought is placed here, and then this action here lets you spend $2 extra to take one that was discarded from a previous round. If you didn't get a chance to do it the round it came out, it lets you do that. The open ocean, you roll dice, which, so I had to make my own dice with just some random dice and put stickers and stuff on the side, or tape and everything. So, but you roll 2 dice, and you either fail to catch a plesiosaurus, or you do catch it, but you pay double the amount. And whatever you roll, essentially, without the X's there, is what you pay to catch it. Here are the job market tiles, which, okay, so they went with a card stock here, but this is very cool looking. So they're square. I do like this sort of foil that they added onto it, if you can tell that. These are things that often give you points at the end of the game, in addition to the other types of scoring you'll find just by playing regularly. You can have, I believe, as many as you want of any of these. Sometimes it gives you like ongoing benefits, but mostly these give you extra points for having certain conditions in your park at the end of the game. I see here's some of the dice that I'm talking about. The money, like I said, that you would roll is how much you pay to take a plesiosaur, which is a water dinosaur, so if you're going to do that action, you want to make sure you do get a aquatic habitat. But yeah, it's your standard 6-sided dice. One side has the water with the death sign on it, so you don't catch it. And the meeples, excellent. And again, we didn't have meeples in the print and play, just a cut-out piece of paper. But I like the look of this. This is really cool. This, I believe, is like the megalodon, or one of the, the largest ones. And he can eat other dinosaurs, if I remember correctly. And he works really well with mutants if you go that route. So check that out. It's huge. He's going to occupy 2 spaces in that aquatic habitat for sure. This one here, similar in size, different color. So let's take a look. This one, I would have to say, looks more in line with what's on the cover of the box. But there you go. Nice quality. This is the Gallimimus. So if you like that scene in Jurassic Park, the original, these are the Gallimimus dinosaurs. So these are not water type, but it is a new dinosaur that comes in this game in the expansion. So it shares the original DNA back as the original dinosaurs that you'll just add into it. Here's some of the cards. I'll open that, I guess, in just a moment. We've got some container sections here. A lot of meeples, a lot of dinosaurs. So check that out. That is cool. It's huge. What is this guy? It's like a woolly mammoth with some painting for his tusks and his eyes. Very cool. We've got, this is more like a miniature shark type of dinosaur. I think it's just a large shark, honestly. Alright, so that's smaller, darker blue color. These look like what are supposed to be the plesiosaurs, so these are, I guess, the easiest to get, since you don't need DNA cards to get them. You can just roll for open ocean. And here we have the refinement tokens, and I'm curious what they're made out of. So it is like wooden tokens with like a screen print on either side. And so you can see like the dark and the light blue to match whether it's the original land type DNA dinosaur or the water type DNA. These can be used for any one DNA resource that you need. Some silica gel. These are, oh gosh, what were they? Can't remember. Therizinosaurus? Yeah. Therizinosaurus. There you go. It's my best pronunciation. Therizinosaurus. Perfect. It always looked very kind of strange looking to me, but who knows. you can build them. And you got this guy. Is this the Spinosaur? I think this is the Spinosaurus. And I believe this might be the same dinosaur type that was the big bad in Jurassic Park 3. But if I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments. But it is also a rather large dinosaur. Very cool. So, oh, there's another little baggie of dinos. Let's see what we got. Only 2 of each of these. These look to be more like the land type. I would say that's a Pachyosaur from his head. And here we go. Perfect. You can see these. So most of this box is just a ton of dinosaur meeples, which is awesome. Plus decks of cards and its board. So let's take a look at these cards and how the printing turned out. Very cool, very cool. Open that. So that's the water type backing. It's got a clear difference and distinction, so it's easy to know what kind you're holding. Parasaurolophus, that's the other one with the flat head type of thing. Spinosaurus, Megalodon. When placed, immediately gain 6 points. So just by building this guy, or manufacturing or whatever, 6 points. It's pretty cool. The Ichthyosaur, when placed, immediately gain $4. Alright, money-making schemes there. Dimetrodon, Beach Dweller, when placed, immediately gain 2 victory points for each directly adjacent aquatic habitat tile. And he's got a 3-point value here. The Mosasaur, with a terror ability, you may destroy a dinosaur in your park to ignore feeding a mosasaur, then gain 5 points. This guy is what I was thinking about. He is really cool to have, because you don't really, if you run out of goats or something, you can just kill off a dinosaur and get 5 points for it. I mean, how can you beat that? Especially on like the final turn. Who knows? There's the Plesiosaur. Of course, that's the one where you don't need his DNA cards to make him. As a simple feeder, his ability, it says does not require feeding during the upkeep phase, so that's cool. That's what's in that stack of cards. Let's open this one up. This has some extra new manipulation cards and more DNA, so very cool. Let's take a look. So, first I'm looking at this, we see sabotage, renovation, genetic deconstruction. You can destroy a dinosaur now and gain some of the wild tokens, just killing them for their DNA. Here, immediately place up to 2 aquatic habitat tiles in your park for free. So this is a nice fast way to turn your park into a water park. Shareholder meetings, score money as if it, or score money here as if it were in-game scoring. Interesting. Control the news, sort of like draw 3, pick one, to go on top, one to go on bottom, that sort of thing. Goat wrestling. Anyone who's able to give you a goat must give you one, and then you can discard up to 6 to gain 1 point each. So that's kind of mean. It's like, I know you've been gathering goats this whole game, but now I'm going to do that and everyone loses a goat. So, very funny. We've got some new breaking news cards. So, that's cool. I wonder if these can be just substituted completely, or if they're meant to be mixed in. I don't know. Alright. These have a little bit more... Yeah, you can take a look. Earthquake, research agreement, underwater viewing. Okay. Breaking news. Each player destroys an outer edge fence from the park of the player who is next in player order. I believe the breaking news, as soon as it comes out, it just happens, and then you draw another one for upcoming. I think that's what this does. So there's like, what, 5 of them? There's a little bit of a chance that you have to resolve something immediately. without any knowledge, I think that's a good addition, especially since it's themed well with it being like the news as determining the events that affect everybody. So yeah, here's the basic DNA backing cards. The Gallimimus, of course, is in here, quite a few. Therizinosaurus, however I said it. It says Tree Harvester, so gain an additional 3 points per season if he's in a habitat of 4 or more spaces. So he only needs 1, but you put him in a big space, you get extra points. And all of these are for those 2 dinosaur types. So I'll set that there. And there's a little bit more of the water type DNA cards. The Dreadnoughts DNA. Interesting. Polymorphic. Yes, I remember this. This was a cool addition. So it's a substitute. Polymorphic DNA can be used to fulfill 1 card in any dinosaur DNA requirement. So instead of having to find 2 copies of this, for instance, you could just have the 1 and get 1 of these, and it just helps you get more dinosaurs out quicker. Looks, there's only 5 cards, so it affects the odds, but you take a look. That's not a whole lot of extra wild. You still have to do mostly a lot of searching for the right cards. So that's I think part of their main design choice there. But overall, I'm very excited to get this combined in with my original copy, and of course the new game map and everything. What do you guys think? Have you played the original, and are you a backer? Are you waiting on your copy of Controlled Chaos? And if you've played it, let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you stick around on the channel, like and subscribe. Definitely check out the Learn to Play videos that I do. The main focus of my channel is creating tutorials for board games, particularly ones that people have trouble with, and medium to heavy complexity and that sort of thing. So stick around. I do appreciate it, and thank you guys for watching. Again, I've been Jared with Meeple Mentor. I'll see you guys next time.